you can count on. Way 31 News at 10 starts now.
New tonight and only on Way 31, Huntsville City Council members are trying to get a $75,000 discretionary fund for each district. The proposal was removed from tonight's agenda after Way 31 started asking questions. Our Way 31 I-Team goes over how City Council members want to use your tax dollars and when the proposal is expected to come up again. Plus 3 truckloads of debris dumped at a burning brush fire in Colbert County. Why fire officials are warning against it. U.S. economy shrinks for the second time this year, and people are feeling the strain of inflation. Why President Biden says the U.S. is not in a recession. Thanks for watching Way 31 News at 10. I'm Dan Schaefer. Nicole Williams has the evening off. We start with a story you'll only see tonight on Way 31. Hundreds of thousands of dollars could be coming to Huntsville City Council for each district to use at their own discretion. Way 31's Nicole Zedek takes a look at a proposed discretionary fund that was supposed to be on tonight's council agenda.
Well, Dan, earlier today, that resolution was on the agenda, introducing a new discretionary fund for each council district. Now, I started making some phone calls to find out more about that discretionary fund and how council members would be able to use that money. But after I made those phone calls, the resolution was taken off of tonight's agenda, and it wasn't discussed at the meeting.
We are there to facilitate or to guide the budget to make sure that revenues and expenditures align.
With 5 districts and a growing city, there are lots of projects that council members hope to get done. And the finance department is here to help.
We listen to what they have, their initiatives, their projects, or anything else that they want us to include in the budget. And so that'll be considered as we line up the budget and put everything together.
The city budget outlines improvements needed for each district. But Huntsville City Council members have never had their own discretionary fund. In your years working in municipal finance, is this typical for different municipalities?
I personally have never dealt with the discretionary funds for different council people or different districts.
Thursday morning, this proposed resolution was on the agenda to be introduced at the council meeting. Sponsored by Council President John Meredith, it's a district discretionary improvement fund, where each district would get $75,000 a year. The resolution states the funds could be used for capital improvements, operational or non-operational expenses for the city, and other valid public purposes, which leaves some room for interpretation. The city's director of finance doesn't know the specifics of this draft proposal, but assures me all money in the city will go through the same legal requirements.
Just like all of our spending happens, it would flow through that same cycle of procurement that we adhere to. Bid laws, things like that, all the time.
Right before the start of the meeting, I asked Council President Meredith why the resolution was taken off of tonight's agenda. He said it's going to be brought up again at a later council work session next month that focuses on the upcoming budget. He wasn't able to elaborate on any specifics of his proposal. Reporting live in Huntsville, Nicole Zedek, Way 31 News.
Thanks, Nicole. We do know the 2023 fiscal year budget will be discussed at the August 18th City Council work session. 28 years after shooting and killing his girlfriend, Joe Nathan James Jr. paid the ultimate penalty for his crime. James was put to death by lethal injection tonight at Holman State Prison in Atmore for the 1994 murder of Faith Hall. The sentence was carried out after the U.S. Supreme Court denied his request for a stay of execution, and despite the victim's family saying they'd forgiven James and would rather he serve life in prison. The execution was scheduled for 6 this evening, but was delayed until 9:27 tonight for unknown reasons. A 23-year-old man serving life sentences for 2 murders in Decatur has died. Cortez Mitchell was found unresponsive at Dayton Correctional Facility in Elmore on Tuesday. The Corrections Department said an autopsy is being performed to determine the cause of death. 10:04 is a live look at the Way 31 Storm Tracker early warning radar network. Most of the earlier showers have cleared out, still a few lingering there, and Sand Mountain, mostly leaving us with a muggy and warm evening. Meteorologist Rob Elvington joins us from the Storm Tracker Weather Center, taking a look at what's ahead for the final Friday of July. Rob, more rain, I assume.
Yeah, I can't believe the month's almost over, but yeah, we got a better chance for showers and storms for your Friday afternoon. Those chances only going up heading into this weekend. Yeah, it's still warm out there. We're in the low 80s here at the 10 o'clock update. That's after hitting 98 for a high today in both Huntsville and Muscle Shoals. So another steamy one with even some heat index values closer to 105. So what we've seen over the last couple of hours on the Way 31 Storm Tracker early warning radar now, we're kind of this lingering band of showers and even storms, and still quite a few of those showers lingering in parts of Jackson and DeKalb County. We'll zoom in a little bit closer. You'll notice that some of the heaviest rainfall right now kind of between Scottsboro and Henniger. Not seeing any cloud to ground lightning, but a nice little burst of rainfall, some much needed rainfall if that moves overhead. Eventually that's going to weaken here in the overnight hours, but it's possible by sunrise tomorrow morning all the way through the morning commute that we could be tracking a few showers and storms from out of Middle Tennessee, just scraping by. Again, that's the first chance for showers and storms tomorrow. And then as we start to warm back up into the low 90s for your Friday afternoon, we're going to see another chance for scattered thunderstorms. And again, the coverage, it's going to be a little bit higher than what we've seen over the last couple of days. And that coverage, it only picks up into your Saturday and into your Sunday. And look at all the rainfall that we're expecting. Could be tracking 2 to 3 inches of rain closer to the Tennessee state line. There is the chance that some storms could be on the strong to even severe side. It's a low chance, but it's possible Friday into Saturday. Also a little bit concerned about some localized flood threats. We'll talk all about this coming up.
Thanks, Rob. New tonight, 3 truckloads of debris were dropped off at a burning brush fire in Colbert County. The fire chief of the New Bethel Volunteer Fire Department says they can't get it out because the terrain is too dangerous. The Colbert County Sheriff's Office is now involved. It's unclear if any criminal charges are being filed, but officials are asking people to not dump any more debris in the area. Right now, the 4.5-acre fire is contained, but it's expected to smolder for several months. Right now, Huntsville police need your help finding a shooting suspect. Take a look at your screen. They're looking for 33-year-old Kenneth Allen Daniel. He faces an assault charge after police say he shot a man after an argument yesterday. He was last seen in an older model white Chevy Tahoe off Academy Drive. If you see him or know where he is, call police. We're working to learn more about this mother, LaQuina Braithwaite, who's charged with murdering her 2-year-old daughter. Huntsville police found the child floating in a bathtub after responding to a welfare check at an apartment on Sugar Mill Circle. Authorities say she ran from police yesterday at that scene before being arrested. The man accused of killing 7 people in Morgan County tried to escape jail. Deputies say John Legg got hold of a trustee uniform and tried to leave his designated area with the help of Mashad Lewis. Jail staff quickly discovered the plan and put the jail on lockdown, keeping any inmates from escaping. Both men are currently awaiting trial for several charges, including capital murder. Changes are coming to the Lauderdale County Jail after the Assistant Director of Corrections helped a murder suspect escape. That position, by the way, is still open, and the sheriff says they're in no hurry to fill it. That's because a new sheriff is about to take over. Until he takes office, the sheriff's office is already tightening restrictions.
All transports are now handled through the sheriff's office. There are no transports out of the detention center.
The jail is also looking to hire more corrections deputies. They've hired 4 in the last week, but still have 3 open positions. A new report is raising fears of a recession as the U.S. economy shrinks for the second time this year. ABC's Morgan Norwood goes over how the president is trying to calm fears about a recession while American families face the hardship of inflation.
Despite the numbers telling the story of a continuous slump in the economy, President Biden and his administration insisting the U.S. is not in a recession.
Both Chairman Powell and many of the significant banking personnel and economists say we're not in a recession.
American families who feel the strain of inflation telling our Rebecca Jarvis their wallets prove otherwise.
I feel like a recession is here.
This has been very stressful overall because everything's going up, but my paycheck.
The Commerce Department reporting Thursday that from April to June, consumer spending slowed, business investment fell, and stores slowed their restocking of shelves.
If you look at our job market, consumer spending, business investment, we see signs of economic progress in the second quarter as well.
Republicans, though, less optimistic. House GOP leader Kevin McCarthy placing the blame squarely on Democrats and President Biden.
Their failed policies have not only made inflation worse, You created it.
The White House continues to celebrate the historic spending bill negotiated by Senators Chuck Schumer and Joe Manchin, but they haven't said whether it will have an immediate impact to ease the hardship that so many American families are facing amid this rising inflation. White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre reaffirming the president's view on the agreement, but didn't say when consumers will see some relief.
It will indeed help fight inflation. It will indeed help reduce the deficit.
Morgan Norwood, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Here in North Alabama, Mayor Tommy Battle says we are somewhat recession-proof. That's because of all the growth in the area.
When we look at the idea of a recession coming in and the country going into recession, we can choose not to participate because we've got the jobs and we've got the economy, we've got the investment in our community that right now is paying off.
The mayor says the huge influx of new high-paying jobs is a good indicator of continued economic growth in the years ahead. Make sure you stay with us. We'll go over how history helped inspire innovation and growth here in Huntsville as we wrap up our Boomtown series. That story coming up in the next 15 minutes. A part of Madison County now looking to become its own city because of the growth in the area. The community now looking to start a petition to get a vote on that matter. Plus, a former Republican and Democratic leaders now looking to form a third political party. How soon you could expect to see some of their candidates on the ballot.
And we had an update to the U.S. drought monitor come down this morning, and unfortunately we saw the expansion of some levels of drought. But we do have some rain on the way, and some of that could be heavy enough to bring some flooding issues. We'll talk more about this coming up.
I don't think the world can get enough of Selena.
And tomorrow, only on GMA.
You guys have a big announcement.
For the first time since her tragic death, hear new music from Selena.
Her legacy is here.
How do you think the fans will react?
Tomorrow, only on Good Morning America.
New tonight, Meridianville is considering becoming its own city. The public meeting was held this evening, to discuss getting a petition together to vote on incorporation. State Representative Rex Reynolds and school board member Nathan Curry were there to talk about what it would mean for the area. The county commissioner is also looking at the possibility, the county commission, I should say, is looking at the possibility of annexing Meridianville into Huntsville. New tonight, a group of former Republican and Democratic officials are forming a new political party. It's going to be called the Forward Party. Their goal is to appeal to what they call moderate and common sense majorities. The party says it will launch a national building tour this fall. They're looking to run candidates by 2024. New tonight, anger on Capitol Hill after a bill that would have expanded health care and disability benefits for millions of veterans was blocked. The PACT Act would have helped veterans exposed to toxic burn pits at and near U.S. military bases overseas. It was expected to pass the Senate, but failed to get the needed 60 votes. Activist Jon Stewart called opponents of the bill cowards.
Ain't this a yeah. Yep. Ain't this a yep. America's heroes who fought in our wars outside sweating their off with oxygen, battling all kinds of ailments, while these sit in the air conditioning, walled off from any of it. This is an embarrassment to the Senate, to the country, to the founders, and all that they profess to hold dear.
Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell says he voted against the bill because Democrats blocked an amendment aiming to reduce costs. He says the legislation would have given Democrats the ability to spend billions of dollars on completely unrelated matters. New at 10, the Huntsville City Council unanimously voted to join an opioid settlement. The money will come from McKesson Corporation and Johnson & Johnson. It's unclear how much money the city will receive or what it will be used for. In Decatur, Point Mallard Water Park is updating its hours of operation for the remainder of the season. It'll now be open from 1 until 6. Leaders say the reduced hours are an attempt to increase safety and for guests and employees. The water park's last day of the season is September 5th.
Weather coverage you can count on with meteorologist Rob Elvington and the Way 31 Storm Tracker Early Warning Radar Network.
And we're slowly coming to the end of July, and July to date, we are at the warmest on record right now for Huntsville, 84.1 degrees. That's the average of the high and lows all the way through the 28 days. So impressive heat so far, and that is combined with the 5th driest to date July so far. Of course, we're going to add on to that total precipitation over the next 3 to 4 days, but 1.42 inches so far. And of course, if you got dry conditions plus a lot of heat over the last 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks, that's going to really start to bring on the drought conditions. And that's what we're seeing right now here in North Alabama. You'll notice that all of North Alabama, and at least the yellow on the map, that's indicating abnormally dry conditions. But we did see an expansion with this morning's release of the moderate droughts. You'll notice the tans on the map now extending through Huntsville and into Jackson County and covering most of Lincoln County and Tennessee. And then we even now have the expansion of severe drought from out of Mississippi and western Tennessee now bleeding over into Lauderdale and Colbert County. And if you look close enough, just off to our north and northwest, that red that you see on the map, just west of Nashville, that is extreme drought. So we're really starting to see some higher drought levels for areas a little bit further off to the west and northwest. What we're seeing right now, the Way 31 Storm Tracker Early Warning Radar Network, a little bit of that much needed rainfall over the last hour, seeing that last bit of that showers and even a few isolated storms now drifting through Jackson County and into DeKalb County. Some of the heavier rainfall we've seen over the last 20 to 30 minutes has been between Scottsboro and Henniger. We'll zoom in a little bit closer. You'll notice now just off to the southeast of Morris Mill and just off to the west of Fairview. A lot of this will continue to exit off to the east or just dissipate over the next hour. Zooming out a little bit more, you'll notice that we're seeing some pop-up showers developing in parts of Missouri and Arkansas. We could see this strengthen some here over the next few hours, and some of that could be close by the morning hours for your Friday morning commute. So look at the forecast for tomorrow, about a 10 to 20% chance around 7, 8 o'clock. And then with the afternoon heating, we're going to continue to see some higher chances, and that will stick around all the way through the evening hours. And with the latest Storm Prediction Center update, this is the severe weather outlook for tomorrow. The new update comes down at about 1 a.m. But you'll notice a lot of yellow on the map. That's indicating a 1 out of 5 severe risk. The main threat would be damaging straight line winds. And of course, again, we'll get an update with this here in the overnight hours. Future radar, this is around 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. And again, look at the storms already developing that early in the day. You'll notice that the widespread stuff just off to our north, closer to Nashville. But a lot of that rain could make its way into North Alabama all the way through the late morning hours. And then a little bit of a lull and then a developing secondary round of showers and storms by tomorrow evening and into the late night hours. Some of that even making its way into the Huntsville area. And then by Saturday, we're tracking more showers and storms developing throughout the late morning hours and into the afternoon. That particular forecast model, a little underwhelming with the rainfall totals, but a lot of the data indicates a much higher coverage of the showers and storms through the next few days. And then look at your 7-day forecast. Temperatures down to the mid-80s by Saturday and Sunday. Once the rain chances drop off, we're back up to the mid-90s by Wednesday and Thursday.